Guys, out of all my years of RC YouTubing, I have never gotten a car that came in a box that was completely blank. It's exciting for sure. I couldn't do the unboxing because I had to know what it was. What is up, guys? My name is Mark Senton. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the RC vlog. Guys, we have a new one today, and it's a mystery new one, but it is a new one by Arrma. We're gonna open it up today. I can't even shoot the box panels because there's no freaking box panels. I'm super excited though. When I saw it, I was stoked. It is the brand new, recently announced Arrma Senton. Holy crap, look at that color. That looks so freaking good. I'm all messed up. Like, I can't even shoot the unboxing. I guess we're just gonna have to take the paper off like so. Oh, so freaking clean. So this is the new Arrma Senton 4x4. I thought about reading kind of the handout that had all the features. I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna look over the car, see what we see. First thing I see is it doesn't have any body clips or body pin holes. So that means it is a clipless body. Let's see. Oh, that was the other thing. The first thing I did whenever I saw that it was a Senton is I checked the bottom of the chassis. I was wondering if it was like one of the new Mega 550 chassis, like on the Arrma Gorgon, the Fury, and the Vortex two-wheel drive, but no. This is an actual 4x4 platform, as you can see on the bottom. Let's figure out how to take this body off here. We'll take a look at this thing together. My goodness, there's all different types of stuff going on in here. Where do you push this? Oh my goodness, very cool. Okay, again, no freaking box panel, so I didn't even know how to do this. I didn't read the manual or anything. There's buttons on top that you push and the body comes right up. So basically the way the body works, it kind of goes in from the front. There's two little holes in the front and then you just kind of push the body on. There you go. Very nice. So you push these buttons, the back one comes up, the front one you push and then you kind of push forward. Look at the bottom of that body. So a completely new clipless body design. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Obviously this is my first time seeing it. I had no idea what to expect, but you slide it in from the front, you push the front down, then you can push the back down, it clips in. To get it off, you push the button on the back, you push the button on the front, and then you slide it forward like so. Very cool. That's actually really cool. It does have some skid plates on the top of the body. That way if you flip over, you don't scratch this beautiful body. The body looks amazing. I really like the new short course style body where they have the big fenders. I think that looks really cool. The front looks really cool. In regards to the truck does look updated big time. First off, the ESC looks extremely different. Doesn't look like the ESC you would expect. Actually, this looks like a 2-in-1 receiver because the bind button is on the ESC. A new power button, very interesting. The ESC looks metal though. They called it a monochrome ESC. It's a new ESC by Arrma. The dirt guards are a lot higher. They're a lot bigger. They come up really, really high. I'm assuming this integrates with the body. That way you keep all the dirt out, which is really, really nice. It does have adjustable turnbuckles. The tires don't look updated, but they do look solid. These are the D-boot tires. It has big old Nerf bars on the side. The shocks are not metal. However, they are what you would find on the Arrma 3S vehicles. These front and rear bumpers are completely different. Definitely mega beefy. The aero on the new Senton looks something that I've never seen before. So they have done a lot of updates, not just with the body, not just with the aero, not just with the electronics, but the transmission also looks slightly different than the old one. It's got some good weight to it. Very, very cool. We're gonna run it on 3S right off the bat, needless to say. I'm super stoked. This is gonna be strange because when you guys are seeing this video, you guys have already seen all the marketing material. I am literally in this thing cold. I read the write-up on it. I didn't see any cool pictures. I haven't even looked at the manual. But overall, it is completely different than the old Senton. I wanna take this receiver box out to see what's inside the receiver box. And I like how there's a bind button there because that means that you should be able to bind it to your DX6C. We're gonna take this receiver box off and see what's in this box. It's probably just empty. Interesting. It is just empty. It's an empty receiver box. It just has all the wires hidden in there. Super cool. Okay, first things first, let's bind this to the DX6C, and then we're gonna go drive this thing, see what it's all about. So this vehicle does have the new stability management system that they use, that DSC, I believe it's Dynamic Stability Control. The ESC is an 80 amp ESC. The motors are 3100 kV. However, the ESC is SLT, which that usually means that it will not bind up to the DX6C. We're gonna try it anyways. I sure hope it does because I don't really want to use that SLT3 transmitter. I mean, it works, it does what you need it to do, but I really like the DX6C. My guess is it won't work. but maybe they fixed it. Sounds different. Yeah, it is not wanting to bind up. It's because it's an SLT3 technology, not DSMR. Yep, does not bind. I don't even know how to calibrate this ESC. We're gonna have to read up on it a little bit. All right, so the verdict is in. I actually ran this on 2S and 3S so I could get the full feel on how it is in both configurations. On 2S, it's still fun. Obviously, 3S is more fun, especially if you're a seasoned RC enthusiast. I didn't have any heat problems on 3S, but I like the versatility for sure. So let's start with the good. First off, I really like this clipless body system. It might be the most intuitive clipless body system I've ever seen. I've never seen it before. I looked at it and it's very clear that you push these buttons, and when you push the buttons, it releases. The only thing that's not super intuitive is you gotta slide it forward. But once you figure it out, it's super easy, super quick, and the body never popped off. Arrma has been killing it with these clipless bodies, especially on the Mojave Grom. That thing is just super cool. But I'm really glad the days of having to put the clips in the body or losing body clips, they're over. Next, the speed. It's definitely fast. Well, I say it's blistering fast, maybe not blistering fast. On 2S, I believe it did 26 miles per hour. Now that's going through the field, that's not doing like speed runs down the street. I didn't change the gearing, that's out of the box. On 3S, it did 40, I believe. 40 miles per hour, that is what it did. And 40 going through a field feels super freaking quick. Now, although it's super quick, it is also super stable. A lot of times on these RTRs, whenever you get on full throttle, especially when you're running the highest LiPo configuration, the car feels like it's on the edge. On this one, it does not. It feels very controllable at full speed on 3S. It doesn't push at all. It actually rotates really, really well, like abnormally well. So well that at one point I had to stop and like see why it was turning so well. I mean, it turns on a dime, but it's extremely controllable, especially with the DSC. Now I ran it on DSC mode 3, which is essentially the second highest DSC setting. So it is pretty stable on that setting. I think it's good though. I like to run that as high as I can without there being any type of push, meaning the car doesn't turn. Car turns freaking excellent. Now, one thing that Arrma has completely crushed is the durability. I sent this thing several times, landed wrong, flipped it over, high speed crashes. I mean, nothing, guys. I think the body bent a little bit on the back, just a little bit on the back, not much, but nothing broke. I mean, these things are incredibly durable. Although I didn't break anything on this run, I have seen what does break on these cars. I did it on the Creighton 4S. I also did it on the Outcast 4S, or I believe it is the Outcast 4S, which are the battery straps. They are running the same battery straps. I think if you keep jumping it really hard, landing really hard, those battery straps will break. You can always get new battery straps, but that would probably be the only weak point on this vehicle, which is a super cheap replacement. But I went through 2 battery packs, wrecked it several times. No problems, can't complain there at all. And I said this when I unboxed it, I really do like the look of this short course body. It's not like every other short course body. It does look like it's got a wide body kit. You can kind of see on there. I mean, I think it looks amazing. Now, in regards to the bads, she's a kicker, guys. She likes to donkey kick when you hit jumps. It does not jump flat. It does want to go forward. Now on 2S, it was really, really hard to land it. Basically, it would kind of nosedive almost every time. On 3S, it had enough power where if you hit the jump right, where you were on throttle going on the face of the jump, you could keep it kind of level. But even then, when you landed, it was kind of upset. So she's not the greatest jumping vehicle. However, for a short course truck, I really think it's more about absorbing bumps, going through fields really fast. If you do hit a jump and you wreck, you're not gonna break. But I don't recommend you drive this thing on the track. I'm sure there's things you can do to make it better, but out of the box, it didn't jump super well. Also, whenever I was ripping through the fields on 3S, I could hear a little bit of rub. I wasn't sure it was rubbing. You could tell it was a tire rubbing on something. I did check under the body. It does look like it's rubbing tire under the body a little bit, which it didn't like mess with the performance. It didn't affect the performance at all, but it is kind of annoying hearing it rub a little bit. You can fix that if you raise the suspension. I didn't do that. I'm running it directly out of the box, but when I go run this again, I am gonna put some preload spacers in there to raise the ride height a little bit because I think that will definitely help with the body rub. Now, one other thing I noticed that we're gonna take this one with a grain of salt is whenever I was done running, I didn't run the battery all the way down, but it did have a cog at low speeds when on load. When I say when on load, when I was going up a hill and I gave it some throttle, it did have a cog. I'll show you what I'm talking about because I did get some clips of it. Now, with that said, that was at the end of my run, and I did check my batteries. My batteries were really low. There's only 20% left. It could have been getting really close to voltage cutoff. I didn't have the problem as much with 3S, which makes sense because 3S has more power. But if you get one of these and you see that, that's not necessarily bad. Some guys might not even see it at all because you're always running on level ground or you're not trying to start off going uphill. You're only gonna see that at low speeds when under load. Now, my last thing I'm gonna say about this one is I kind of wish they didn't put the 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. I thought the old power system was perfectly fine, and I really liked how it came with the Spectrum SR315 receiver. You could bind it with your DX6C. Now with this new 2-in-1 receiver, you cannot. Now with that said, it performs perfectly fine, but it was really nice to be able to pick up any Arrma RC car, bind it to your DX6C, and just be done with it. Overall though, I give it 2 thumbs up because I wanted to keep driving it. And that's really all that matters. I had fun out there. I ran 2 battery packs and I could have stayed out there even longer and just ripped up and down the field. Definitely a fun truck, a great beginner truck because when you run on 2S, it's super controllable. Even when you run on 3S, super controllable, but on 3S you can show off because it's so fast. But again, before I take it back out, I'm gonna put some preload spacers in there because it does sit a little low.